guys, it's Megan. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing episode 4 in my Create This Book series. I did 4 pages in this episode, and I really hope you guys like them. So without further ado, let's just get into it. The first page that I decided to do this week says to create a monochrome. Choose one color and use only that color to decorate this page. Since some of the color had bled through from the other page, I decided to cover this page with this purple star printed scrapbook paper. I went over the area that the instructions were in with a colored pencil to make it look a little bit better. I colored in the word 1 using a Posca paint pen. I kind of made the pieces of scrapbook paper a little bit too small, so to fix that I decided to put washi tape on the top and bottom of the pieces of scrapbook paper. And now moving on to the actual drawings. So for the concept of this page, I wanted to have a purple Polaroid camera and then have Polaroid pictures on the page that were all a purple monochrome. I decided to draw an Instax camera because they actually do come in purple, surprisingly. I have one, but it's blue, and I'm kind of disappointed that I never got a purple one. So I just drew out the Polaroid camera and then I filled it in with my Winsor & Newton Pro markers. These markers don't work as well on printer paper as they do on sketchbook paper, and so I had a little bit of trouble blending it all together, and I had to do multiple layers. I also added some shading onto the camera by again just adding on more layers of the marker. I used a white gel pen to add highlights in the little light part of the camera, as well as on the lens. Next I moved on to drawing the Polaroid pictures. This drawing was actually inspired by Megan Weller _fanxo on Instagram. She made this really cool edit of me of a picture that I took, and she made it all in purple. And her edit, I think, actually inspired pretty much this entire page, so make sure to go follow her. I ended up doing 7 of these Polaroid drawings in total. I drew my cat Lucky, and I've mentioned it in other videos, but Lucky actually passed away last year, but I still love her and I'm still going to keep drawing her. I also did a drawing of our dog Briar. He is a black lab and border collie mix, and we've had him for maybe 9 or 10 years. We've had him since I was in 4th grade, and yeah, so there's him. I also drew a field of flowers just because it's pretty easy to draw and I was kind of running out of ideas. Then I drew this New York skyline, again because it's pretty easy to draw. I drew a dream catcher as well, and this actually wasn't that hard to draw. I thought that the part in the middle might be a little bit difficult, but it really wasn't. And lastly, I drew a sketchbook because, not gonna lie, I was kind of running out of ideas at this point. I went through my art supplies and I found all of the purple ones. And then I colored everything in using various shades of purple. I'm not going to go through me coloring every single one of these pictures in because I've already spent a decent amount of time talking about this page, but you guys get the general idea. I used a lot of different techniques to do this. Like for the cat, I colored it in with a light purple and then I went over it with a colored pencil to make the fur. I feel like the drawing of my dog looks a little bit weird because he's so dark, but I mean that's how he is in real life, and I think it might have gone better if I outlined it with a white gel pen, but since this was so small, the lines from the gel pen would have been really thick, so I just left it like it was. To complete the page, I took all of the drawings that I did and arranged them onto the page, and then I just glued them down with a glue stick. And here's how the finished page turned out. It was definitely time consuming, but I really love the end result. And I guess it's technically not all purple since there's a little bit of white and black in there, but I still think that it counts. I mean, there are some people that don't even consider black and white to be colors, so I think we're good. The next page that I decided to do was the instructions page. There isn't anything in the book that says that you specifically have to decorate this, but you guys know I couldn't just leave it blank. So there isn't a whole lot to decorate on this page, but for the little bit of blank space that there was, I decided to write out the words "create every day" with a little paintbrush at the end, kind of like the paintbrush was painting the words. And then I began to fill the words with a rainbow. And I actually thought of a better way to do this, after I finished this page, but it's kind of too late and I don't mind this that much. I decorated this page using only colored pencils, even for the black outline, since anything else like a micron pen or markers would have bled through the page. That's definitely something to keep in mind if you have this book or if you plan on getting it. The paper quality really is not very good at all, so you're going to have to add in a lot of extra pieces of paper. I don't think it's that much of a problem, but it's definitely just something to keep in mind. After I had that colored, I colored in the little pictures on the right side of the page. And then I drew these rainbow bump things on the top and bottom part of the page. I filled in the bubble letters on the page with my Sharpie fine liners, and this was okay because I already had another piece of paper glued onto the other page, so it didn't bleed through. And here's how the finished page turned out. It's definitely not my best work, and I think next time if I did the create everyday thing, I would make the rainbow stripes go the other way. But other than that, I think the page looks alright. The next page that I decided to do says to create a pet, make this page into a pet. Don't forget to give it a name. So yeah, big surprise, I decided to draw a cat. I'm sure you're all very shocked. And this is supposed to be like an imaginary pet. She has another page in the book for like your actual pet. And again, I'm sure you're all very surprised, but I decided to color the cat purple. I colored in the cat using my purple Winsor & Newton Pro Marker. I used a purple Crayola colored pencil to create stripes on the cat. I kind of modeled this cat after my sister's cat Thomas, who you sometimes see popping up in my videos. I also used the colored pencil to add a little bit of extra detailing to the cat's face. I decided that I wanted the cat to be lying on the ground outside, so I drew some flowers onto the page. I colored the flowers with a dark purple and I made the center yellow, and then I colored in the background with a green marker. I used a colored pencil over the green marker to make it look like the grass was textured. I decided to incorporate the cat's name onto the page by making it a birth certificate. On the birth certificate, I included the name, the sex, the color, the date of birth, and the time that it was born. I colored in the birth certificate with a light yellow marker. I also included a paw print on the birth certificate. I glued the drawing of the cat onto the left side of the page. I made a similar background to put on the right side of the page. I figured I didn't need to show how I did it since it's the exact same as the one on the left. And then I glued in the birth certificate. So here's the pet that I created. Her name is Violet. She's a female, and of course she's purple. She was born on February 20th, 2019 at around 10 a.m. This page definitely did not turn out how I planned at all. I had originally planned to make the pet like furry so that I could pet it, but that didn't really work out so well. It looked terrifying, so I think this is okay. The last page that I decided to do says to create a page for your favorite character. Choose one of your favorite cartoon characters, draw him or her on this page. So fun fact, I honestly don't have that many favorite cartoon characters. I guess there's the Powerpuff Girls, but I went back and watched that as an adult and like honestly, it's not as good as I remember. But I do love the Muppets and I really wanted to draw Kermit and Miss Piggy, so that's what I did for this page. I know they're technically not cartoon characters, but oh well. I colored them in with a combination of my Winsor & Newton Pro Markers and some Crayola colored pencils. And like I said before, I like using the Crayola colored pencils in books like this because they don't transfer over to the other pages easily. I know that I should start sealing the pages like Moriah Elizabeth does in her series, but I don't really like how the packing tape looks because when you put it on camera, the lights reflect off of it and it doesn't really look that good. And I thought about Mod Podge, but the problem with that is that it would make the pages stick together. So if you guys have any suggestions, make sure to leave them for me down below. I colored Kermit with a layer of green marker and then I put green colored pencil over top, and I colored in Miss Piggy with this peach colored pencil. I decided to fill in Miss Piggy's dress with this rose printed washi tape. I've seen other people make clothes like this and I think that it looks really cool. I just put the washi tape down on the page and then I cut around it using my X-Acto knife. This was surprisingly easier than I thought it would be. I thought it might be a little bit difficult to go around her pearl necklace, but it really wasn't that bad. I then used some metallic scrapbook paper to make Miss Piggy's ring. I wanted to create a rainbow background for the page, so I drew out some lines. Then I glued on the drawing of Kermit and Miss Piggy. I divided the background into 7 sections and I colored it with all of the rainbow colors plus pink. I wanted to make the background a rainbow because of the song that Kermit sings called The Rainbow Connection, but it kind of just looks like they're in some sort of pride parade or something, which, you know, I'm not mad about it. And here's how the finished page turned out. I actually really like it. Like, the background could be better, but I still think it's alright. I like that this was kind of a bigger drawing than what I usually do. I usually draw things that are pretty small, and I think that it came out pretty good. If you've made it to the end, let me know which page was your favorite in the comments. I think my favorite was probably the first page. So here are today's shoutouts. If you want a shout out in my next video, go onto my Create This Book episode 3 video and comment if you like cats or dogs better. Personally, I'm more of a cat person, but I like both. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and make sure to follow me on Instagram. It is @WellerMegs. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!